22-year-old Russian Andrey Fedosov takes on 42-year-old Lionel Butler. There's Lionel Butler. Last time Lionel Butler was on our air, we were calling a fight on South Beach down in Miami. It was 2003. Hadn't fought since until this past September. Had some trouble with the law. Now at 42 years old, 276 pounds. Here's what he says he's learned.
Well, I found out that I still have it. I know that, and because this time I'm giving myself a chance. This time, my first time around doing my career, I wasn't totally dedicated to the game. You know, I had a lot of distractions, being young, making money quick, and and spending it fast. I was going through a lot then, but now I got a level head now. I'm much older now, more experienced now in life in general.
Put that experience up against Andrey Fedosov, 23 years old from St. Petersburg, Russia, 20-1, 16 knockouts in his career, 6 foot, 223 pounds. And let's take a look at the Keep Your Edge breakdown brought to you by Just for Men.
Well, first of all, for Fedosov, be alert early. Butler can bang. Don't get careless. Then move in behind the jab. Break him down and get him out of there. And for Butler, well, what can you say? You're 42 years old. You're 276 pounds. You're not going to be able to be swinging all night long, so come out early. Swing away. You never know.
There's Fedosov, who turned pro at age 17. We asked him about it. He said, I didn't enjoy the amateurs. Thought the pro style was better for me.
Good luck.
Scheduled for 8. Boomerette, referee here in Southern California. The new season of Friday night fights with a good main event. Roman Karmazin and Dionisio Miranda await, but first, another Russian, a heavyweight, also from St. Petersburg, Fedosov.
Well, the early part of the fight, you can say that in a lot of fights, is very important, but mostly, or more so, tonight. Because Butler, at 42 years old, at 276 pounds, you can't figure he's going to be in the kind of shape. Just look at the body on him to be able to do a lot of work throughout the fight. So he's going to have to get lucky early, not save it for late in the night if he's going to look to come away with a win here.
Butler has also already tasted a left hand to the body and a left hand upstairs as he pressures on the inside. Now Fedosov brings it back more to the range.
The good news about going to the body of Butler for Fedosov is that the body is really soft. The bad news is to go to the body of Butler, you have to get close. That means you give Butler a chance to catch you while you're standing right in front of him. And that's the only chance Butler has. He can't use his legs. He can't cut the ring down. He can't adjust to movement or to any kind of angles. But he can bang if you stand in front of him.
It's a straight right hand from Fedosov, and then Butler came back with a right hand of his own.
And again, Butler, the one thing he can do, we learned this with George Foreman. When George Foreman went away for 10 years, came back in his 40s and was still successful. The speed might go away, some of the skills might go away, the body and the waistline might get a lot bigger, but the power doesn't go away. That's one thing, again, Fedosov has to be careful of. Butler always had power.
Tried to rip that right hand straight down. He ate a right hand that time. There comes another one from the young Russian, and he backed it up with a left hand as well.
I don't know how many more of those shots that Butler will want to take. Because in his earlier years, that's one thing that was kind of a mark against Butler, Joe. Nobody ever thought he was mentally the toughest guy in the world. He wouldn't overcome things. The opposite of George Foreman. George Foreman came back. Yeah, he was bigger. He was heavier. He still had the power. But he was very determined. He was very good mentally.
Much like Foreman in those later stages, you see Butler just crossing that big right forearm turtle shell style defense across the front.
Like the old Mongols, Archie Moore.
An uppercut snuck into the mix there. There's a short right hand from Butler on the inside now.
And again, I'm a little surprised. It's only the first round. Butler taking some decent shots here. Again, it was never the trademark of Butler. He could always punch, but even when he was younger, he was never known as a guy who overcame things, who was really dependable and behaved like a fighter all the time. Right now, at least in the first round, he's behaving like a fighter. Let's see what happens as the rounds go on.
Pretty good action to open up the first round of the new season of Friday Night Fights. Will continue with heavyweights. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Some action from the last round. The good news is Fedosov landed a few punches. The bad news is he got caught one because he was standing in front of Butler, and that's what Fedosov has to be careful. Butler's probably not here to win a decision, but if he can land one big shot, he'll go home happy.
Joe and Teddy with you, a new season of Friday Night Fights. Round number 2 of our heavyweight co-feature here tonight from Southern California. You see the punches in round number 1. Butler throwing off 73, 42 years old, putting forth an effort in round number 1 here against the 23-year-old Russian. Fedosov came in with just 1 loss in his career, testing that body. We talked about the fact that Butler, 276 pounds now.
I'm looking to see, I alluded to it in the first round, how Butler behaves, physically and mentally. Physically, I want to see if he starts to fade at 276 pounds at 42 years of age, but emotionally, mentally, I want to see if his determination stays there or if that starts to fade.
Of course, many probably remember him, Teddy, from those early years when he was, journeyman opponent for a lot of the premier name heavyweights back in that day. Riddick Bowe and Oliver McCall. He was taken out in 5 rounds by Lennox Lewis. He was TKO'd in 8 rounds by Chris Bird. He was up against Michael Grant.
Yeah, he fought 5 former world champions, and you just touched on it. He was knocked out by 3 of them. But he's also been disqualified 3 times. And what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that sometimes when the going gets tough, he doesn't get tough with the going.
Right.
Maybe he finds a way to get out of there. Hasn't shown that, though, tonight.
That was the result of the fight against Michael Grant, as well as 2 fights against Terry Davis.
And Fedosov, I think that, even though he's winning this fight, he's carrying the rounds by doing what he's doing. And there he is with the right hand. And now you make your own determination. Does Butler want to continue? Let's see.
Come to me. Come. Okay? Okay.
This is what I was waiting for.
Went right back to the middle. Not covering up, though, as there's a short right hand, and Butler stumbles back. Another right hand puts him on his seat, and it is waved off. Second round knockout, Andrey Fedosov. So Andrey Fedosov, who says, I'm still learning. There's a lot of my game that needs to improve. Tonight, an opponent that he was expected to do that against, and he delivered.
From the beginning, Butler was available. At 276 3/4 pounds, well, he presented that 276 3/4 pounds in a square way, right in front of you, where you could not miss him.
Let's take a look back at the first knockdown of this second round.
And right there you see Fedosov doing what was easy to do. Let his hands go, and again you see a little bit of a jab, a little step back, set up the right hand, put the punches together. Not really magnificent punches. You wouldn't say that they're earth-shattering punches. As you can see, those miss. That misses. That one lands behind the ear a little bit. You wonder, was the flesh of Butler gone, or was the spirit of Butler already fleeing into the air? I think it was a combination of both. Those first 3 punches, nothing clean. The last right hand, a little behind the ear. And you wonder again, was Butler's mind already made up that I'm not going to find a way to overcome this assault?
For the official particulars, we send it up to the ring to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 37 seconds in round number 2. Our referee in charge, Dr. Lou Moret, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout, Andrey Fedosov.
Andrey Fedosov, who turned pro back in Russia in 2003, fought the majority of his career in Russia, the Ukraine, Germany. His last loss was all the way back in 2004. And now 3 straight fights in California and 3 straight knockout wins. As we take another look at the knockout victory, Fedosov toppling Lionel Butler. Much more to come. Roman Karmazin in our main event. For now, we send it back to the Friday Night Fight studio.